Hello YouTube, this is William. I need to ship the new WCFK first run marketing knife that we use for pictures and everything to post on the listing for Ridge Runner blades, and there will be a link below in the description for that listing that you can do pre-orders, and that pre-order will only last through February the 22nd. Okay, so again, first runs will end on February the 22nd. I'm gonna say that in every video that I have going forward, because inevitably there is always somebody who, after the ending is over, say, can I still get in on it? No, you can't. Once it ends, okay? You can order a production knife at some point, but it's usually not until these knives, the first runs, are pretty much shipped out before a listing for a production knife even is available. So if you want one as quickly as you can get one, then you have to get in on the first runs, and the first runs will be fabricated, as always, about 4 to 5 months after the pre-order ends. Okay? Please listen to this video carefully. Don't do it at twice the speed to get through it, okay? Because there's always a lot of information in the videos. If you rush through it, then you're gonna miss something, all right? And it could be very important stuff, all right? Okay, I gotta ship these to Jason over at Ridge Runner. He didn't want to take the chance of getting them lost in luggage. So I thought before I did that, there's a lot of questions that's come up, and I thought maybe I would answer a few of them in this video. I think one of the main questions is, how does it compare to the WCSK? So let's do a side-by-side comparison here and just kind of show you. The SK is about a 1/2 inch longer blade. Okay, just kind of give you an idea. The SK blade is cutting edge is about 5.5. Okay, the blade or cutting edge on the FK is about 4 3/4, 4 7/8, something like that. Okay, just under 5 inches. The SK has a saber all the way through with a apex that changes. Okay, so but the cutting edge is the same all the way through. It's just that when I do this saber grind, my saber grind changes to create different apex thicknesses, whereas the FK has a saber with a hook or a tooth that goes into a saber grind for a thin apex for slicing and dicing in your planing of wood, your kitchen prep, things like that. Okay, both of them have a belly right here, and both of them have a faceted tip, whereas the tip on the FK, because it is intended to be a tactical knife for its piercing and stabbing and things like that, it has a finer tip, okay, for piercing and stabbing. Whereas the SK is more of a survival knife, and I don't mean survival against people. I mean survival in urban areas and also survival in the woods, okay? So it has a more robust tip for drilling of wood, bow drill divots, and things like that, whereas this one will do it. But this one is more designed for that task, all right? This is for, its primary design function is military or tactical. Primary design function is survival, urban, and woods. Okay, so 2 different primary functions. Now, both of them will interchange and do separate things that the other one will do, but different primary functions, all right? The faceted tooth is a huge difference between the two. The Scandi grind is a difference between the two. Wood processing, firecraft, This knife may hold a slight edge to that. This knife does it very well, as shown in many videos on my YouTube homepage. If you want to see this knife in action, there is the whole R&D process was put in video on this knife, okay, on the SK. This knife, more videos are coming. Right now, we spent a week in the shop doing B-roll for a lot more videos of this being done. So just a little patience. We should have some videos of this knife being used. Firecraft, whittling on sticks. I did a tri-stick with this knife. I did a lot of things of wood carve. This thing is a monster at carving. All right, if you can just imagine these fine, this is a Scandi. So basically it's a Scandi with a saber grind for a thin apex. You can let your mind, if you used a Scandi in wood, then you know that this knife is going to eat wood like an angry beaver. All right. So and the videos is going to show that. So anyway, okay, that covers the blade. There's a little bit of jimping on the FK for, I mean, you know, more tactical. So you want thumb purchase. You don't want to be slipping or anything. Both have a 90-degree spine. This has a thumb ramp, same as this one, a little bit different. Your thumb is further up for more control when you're doing survival tasks. This one is to keep your hand from slipping up, piercing, okay? That leads us into the handle. Now the handle is very similar, although the handle on the FK, I'm trying to hold it here, same point. The FK handle is more of a bubble at this point to act as a guard, but we don't want a guard to where it gets in the way of doing finer tasks, choking up on the handle. So it has a guard there, subtle guard, that if you grip the handle, if you grip it like a man or a woman, then you're going to be fine, okay? But you can't hold these knives loosely. A loose held knife is going to hurt you, all right? You got to hold it with a grip. So your hand will not slip up if you grip these knives in a strong grip when you're piercing or stabbing with things. But that bubble is also there as a warning. It tells you, hey, you're getting close to the business part of this knife, so be careful, all right? So the handles on the FK is bead blasted. The blades are bead blasted to cut down on the shine. The WCSK, the blades are shiny. Again, different primary functions. This is for wood craft, urban craft. This one is tactical. This is to be not seen, okay? If you want something for a bug out bag in a grid down or a relocation and you don't want to be seen, a gray man situation, then perhaps this one may fit your needs a little bit better than this one. But if you just want to bug out to the woods and you don't care who sees you or whatever, and then maybe it's this one. So anyway, it's a choice. They're interchangeable, but do you like this style or do you like this style? That's pretty much what it comes down to. So anyway, this sandal is black with black pins. Again, bead blasted with an oil finish. It has a little bit of a grip to it, a texture to it, whereas this one has a bow drill divot. It is a green Chemist micarta, same type of material. It's just that this one's green with different pin locations. The WCSK will come with a bow drill divot. Again, different functions, survival, woods. This one does not have a bow drill divot, okay? So, both of them are comfortable to use. Both of them can choke up on them. And I think that covers all of this. So let's get down to the pommel. Completely different pommels. Both of them have a hidden lanyard, so that it's out of your way. You don't have to feel it. I hate feeling a lanyard in a knife. It just, to me, it causes hot spots. So I use hidden lanyards on 99.9% of my knife designs for that reason, okay? The SK has a hammer pole here for crushing nuts and beating on or driving the blade into something so you can use it in different tasks and things. Whereas this one has a skull crusher tip or a rounded fine tip for doing damage in a conflict. Okay, again, tactical. Think tactical. All right, as a primary function. This knife was designed as a grunt, field craft, a soldier, those type of guys. Okay, with jimping here, so you had a secure grip in a reverse grip. So if you're in a altercation, then you have a secure grip on the blade, and this hook right here, well, it'll do some damage when you come across something with that. All right, just use your imagination. And it also acts as a pry bar. If I can get this in here, it's got a slope. It's sloped right here to get under those pallets or can lids or whatever you have to do to pry open lids. Now, you're not going to tear down a house with it, all right? That's not what it's meant for. It's to get under crates. It's to get under banding. It's to get under can lids, things like that, to where you don't use your knife to do that, your blade. You use that portion, okay? So the markings on this, this is an old design, but that's the markings. They're serialized on the SK. The FK is not serialized. It is subdued, but the markings are still there. First runs will have first run on the blade. After the first runs are closed on February the 22nd, February the 22nd, you can no longer order a first run. They will have just the logo, my logo, WC, and the WCFK on the blade. They will be bead blasted. So they're kind of subdued as a silhouette. They're hard to see. Again, low visibility, all right? On the back side, a U.S. flag to show that it was fabricated or manufactured in the United States with a born on date, well, month and year. Also the type of steel. These are AEBL, 3/16 AEBL, all right? Okay, that's what's on the back of the blade. Now, for woodcraft, I don't want to get too involved in woodcraft on this because this is a finished blade that I don't want to show that it's used. But that hook right there, you talking about fine curls? If anybody has used a tracker and has used this reverse hook for doing feathers, then you understand the benefits of that. Also, the faceted tooth here is like one serration. So it cuts, the way this V is here, if you put it on a piece of wood and baton, not club, but baton with this knife, it acts as a V or as a wedge to wedge apart material faster than if you was doing it with this knife, because it's more of an extreme V here than it is here, okay? So this one is a better batoner. If you're gonna baton, small wood, realistically, again, I don't build knives to build log cabins. I build tools that is cut, that is primary use is to cut and slice, all right? But this one is a better batoner because it has that wedge there, all right? Once you put it on the wood, that little tooth right there is gonna hold it in place and it's not gonna slide around on you, all right? Whereas this is a not as extreme tooth, but it is a tooth right here. It's just not faceted, whereas this one is faceted tooth, all right? So that's one benefit. Both knives have that slope there where you can do kitchen prep with that thin apex and that straight part for planing wood. If you're going to plane wood, see how it just it just lays on that wood, and it planes. Okay, like so. Both knives will do that. All right. Both knives have a thin apex right there, or so that it slices. There's not a hang up when you're slicing through material. A very fine point for those precise drills, like so. Okay, it'll drill through something in a heartbeat, but it's going to give you a very fine hole. Whereas this one is not so fine tip. It's going to give you a larger hole for a bow drill. You see the difference in the holes? Okay. Again, this one tip is for piercing, not necessarily bow drills, but for piercing. This one is for bow drills. All right. Okay. The thickness or the width of the handles is the same. The length of the handles is the FK may be slightly longer, maybe an eighth, but I mean pretty much the same. They both fill up your hands about the same. I think that's about it. That goes from tip to pommel on this knife. I hope that answers a lot of your questions about what's the difference between the FK and the SK. Two different primary functions. Tactical, think grunt. Survival, think bug out, think urban survival, trying to get out of town, into the woods, or wherever you're going to go. All right, that's what the SK, survival knife, field knife for the grunt. Okay, that's the difference. Okay, they both function in a lot of ways that are similar. Okay, this knife, would it be a good survival knife? Depends on your situation, but yeah, it certainly would be in the category to choose from. Okay, would this knife be a tactical knife used in certain applications? Absolutely, it would. As a matter of fact, there's probably many military people that already use this knife in a military setting. I know of a bunch of them that I can't talk about, but I know of a bunch of them that use this knife and use it very well. So there you go. AEBL stainless, rust resistant. We've tested this knife AEBL in salt and lemon juice. I mean, we have playlists. If you go to my homepage on YouTube, you'll see playlist after playlist. All right, I have about 1,000 videos on knives and all kinds of stuff that I love. Okay, so there you have it. I don't know what else to say about this knife other than the balance on it is right there at the choke point, so it's not going to fatigue your arm. It feels like an extension of your hand. It's just a pleasure to use. It really is. And just be a little patient, because these knives, this documentary that's coming from Ridge Runner, as I said in the live video, I don't know, it doesn't look like many people watched that. I think we got 100 views. And so I know that the quality of that was not the best in the world. And I know people got a little turned off by that. But anyway, I wanted to do a high def and show these side by side. But there is a better version, a high def version on Ridge Runner Blades YouTube channel now if you want to see that. But we covered a lot of this stuff in the same thing. But anyway, what I was going to say is in that live, we used the word epic a lot. And that's what the videographer had told us when he was doing all this B-roll in the shop. I mean, they did me grinding this blade. Matter of fact, the documentary shows me building this knife. All I had was a blank. It showed me grinding this knife blade. It showed me setting the handle, shaping the handle, doing the bead blast, doing the kydex, and all pricing on Ridge Runner blades. Just want to throw this in there. All pricing at Ridge Runner includes a sheath. They all will come with this Kydex sleeve. All right, so the pricing includes this. It's not an option. It will come with this Kydex sleeve, just like this, okay? Just like this. So anyway, the epic documentary on WC Knives MB will show me building this knife. Also show some heat treat. It will show me using the knife, talking about my philosophy on knife design, about me, some history, how WC Knives was started, and a bunch of things. So look for that documentary. As soon as I have that, that is released, I don't know if it's going to be on my YouTube channel or not, but I will post it on my social media as a link, and I will also put it on my YouTube channel community page as a minimum, okay? I'm going to try to upload it onto my YouTube channel playlist, but anyway, I don't, we'll see how that works. But anyway, that should be a lot of fun, and I'm being told about middle of February. But if you want this knife and you want the first run, I mean, they are selling like hotcakes, folks. So the sooner you get your name in to order this, the faster you will get your knife, okay? Because once they start shipping, depending on the number that's ordered, it may take 6 to 8 weeks to get all of them out after they start shipping in 4 to 5 months, okay? So anyway, the sooner you get your name in, the quicker you'll get your knife. Also, another thing that's come up is the 50% deposit. I know I offer the 50% deposit on a lot of the knives. It's 4 months or longer to wait. And we had talked about doing that on Ridge Runner's Blades website, but Jason and I talked about a new system called Sezzle, which is basically a 4-payment plan. And so you pay a quarter for 4 months. That's 0% interest. It doesn't cost you anything more. It's just easier to pay than 2 50% deposits. You only have to pay 4 quarter payments, okay? Same time frame, same amount of money. It's just that there's 4 payments instead of 2. This allows Jason to not have to sit holding a knife waiting for you to check your emails to pay the final deposit. So it's easier for everybody if we do it this way. I know it's different, but it's actually a better system than doing a deposit and then waiting for me or Jason to send you a final invoice for the balance before we ship the knife. This way, once Jason gets the knives, your payments is already done and he ships it right out to you, okay? So we're trying to make this as simple and as easy for you guys as possible. It costs us a little bit extra money, but we don't have to spend the additional time to sending out invoices and contacting and calls and all this other stuff when we could be shipping knives, or in my case, grinding knives and so on and so forth, instead of doing all the book work, okay? Sometimes the book work takes as long as it does grinding a knife. So, you know, the joys of owning a business, hey, that's just part of it. And so, you know, but we try to minimize that as much as we can so that we can start, keep at that grind, keep grinding, all right? Okay, I hope this answered a lot of y'all's questions. I got to get these in the mail to Jason. Again, there will be a link. Go to ridgerunnerblades.com and look under the WC section, and you'll see the pre-order for these. Pre-orders for first runs in February the 22nd. The pricing includes a Kydex sleeve just like this. The knife will look just like this, or very, 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 very close. You won't be able to see the difference, all right? Just like this. And I will put a link, a direct link in the description below if you want to get your name in there. The sooner you get it in, the quicker you will get your knife. Because once they start shipping, the Gray Man was over 100, and these knives will be fabricated directly after the Gray Mans are shipped out. So, you know, the sooner you get it in, the quicker you get your knife. That's pretty much how it works. So, anyway. All right. If you got any questions, more questions, put it in the link below or in the comments below. But you know, all I have left after this is just my original prototype A that started the whole thing. This is prototype A. This is the only one I kept. Jason took all the rest of them. Well, I do have the Cerakote, and I'll put the Cerakote up for sale at some point, but anyway, it is what it is. Let's see. I can't think of anything else, but you guys are fantastic. Thank you so much. This past week has been a blast with Jason and his crew and Patrick and all that bunch, all those guys, and we had a lot of fun. Doing this. It was different. It was kind of a break for me, which was good. Now I gotta rearrange the shop, get it ready for me to start grinding blades again, and get some blades over to Tom. Tom is finishing up the Gen 2, so I got to give him some more blades to put handles on, and get some more knives out to Jeff. Jeff told me he had two knives left. I think it was the. I think he said he had an Alaskan Scout and maybe a Bowie. I'm not sure. But he said he had 2 left. And so I got to get some more knives out to Jeff, and those North Winds, he's shipping them out to those that's already been ordered. So a little bit ahead of schedule on that, I believe. I hadn't done the figuring on it, but we're pretty close, maybe a little ahead, or at least on time. So the North Winds are going out from Great Northern. And he and I talked about doing something on his website so that you guys will know what knives they carry. So it is kind of confusing, I know. But Great Northern carries 10 models. So he's going to try to figure out something to do on that website to kind of ease some of that confusion somewhat. So anyway. Thank you guys. You guys are fantabulous. Couldn't do this without you. This is just it. My heart is full. Thank you so much. Till the next one, you guys get in the backyard with on a stick. Be sure to take a child with you, get the opportunity. And don't forget those plenty of band-aids and lots of knives. And we'll catch you again very, very soon.